Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Alex with GuitarForce.com. As you can see, today we're going to take a look at Hear My Train A-Comin by Jimi Hendrix. This was requested by a lot of you guys. If you remember, a few weeks ago I made this video where I asked you to submit your request. So this song had most likes, and I would like to thank everybody who participated in that. So I'll try my best to to teach you how to play this song. Keep in mind though that this is Jimi Hendrix, so be easy on me. Alright, so the version that we're going to take a look at is from the Fillmore East. I think it's one of the best versions that you can hear Jimmy played, and I think it's got all of these parts where not in all the versions you can hear. So I thought this is going to be the best version to transcribe. So again, the tabs and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com for free. If you're interested in the Jimi Hendrix's style of playing, I have another video lesson that you can check out, and it's in two parts. It's a really big one, and I'm going to post the links in the description box down below and also somewhere on the screen right here. If you would like to see the playthrough of this song, I mean, it's not the entire song, but just a part of it that we're going to break down today. Also going to be the link in the description box and also on the screen. So yeah, as far as the sound, I was using the VST plugin guitar rig. The picture of the preset I'm going to post on the screen so you can see what kind of parameters I used on the amplifier. Basically, it's the preset is called Jimmy's Little Wing. Now, as far as the tuning, we're going to be half step down on all the strings, so in E flat technically. And while you're checking out the picture, here is my low E string for your tuning reference. Alright, let's take a listen to the intro part, then we'll come back and start the lesson. Let's check it out. Okay, so the intro part, where it's just the guitar playing, we're going to break it down into 4 phrases. The first one goes like this. So here we start off with the low E string open. Then we go onto the A string and we have a grace note, which is like a quick hammer on from 5 to 7. And Jimmy loved to use these grace notes. Okay, so like I said, it's a grace note from 5 to 7 on A string, and we play it 2 times. Then we have 5th fret of the A string with some vibrato, and then 3 open on the low E string. So one more time. Okay, next phrase. So here we have another grace note, but this time we started on the D string from 5 to 6, low E string open, a grace note on the A string 5 to 7, low E string open, 2 times on the 5th fret of the A string, and then 3 open on the low E. Next phrase. Okay, so here we have on the A string again 5 to 7 grace note, and then we go right into the D string 5 to 6, low E string open, then we are playing again this grace note from 5 to 6 on the D, and we pick the 6th fret one more time. Then back to the 5th fret of the A string, 3 open. Okay, and then the 4th one, the last phrase goes like this. Okay, so here again we have on the A 5 to 7, open low E, 5 to 6 on D, open low E, 5 on A, 3 open on low E. Okay, so when we put together all of the phrases, okay, so now the band kicks in and we continue playing the intro part, which goes like this. So we have a little trill here on this string from open to 2nd fret, like that. Then the next phrase. So here we have a bend on the 2nd fret of the G string, and while it's bent, we catch the B string, on the 3rd fret, and then we have again this quick bend and release on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then we play open G, trill on D string open to the 2nd, and low E string open. Okay, so one more time. After that, after we play the low E string open, we then play the high E and the B strings open as well. And then the next phrase goes like this. So if I started from the beginning of the bar. So like I said, after we play the low E and then the high E string open, we then have a slide from 2 to 4 on the G, 3rd fret of the B, and then again we have a grace note, but this time it's played with a slide, so we slide fast from 4 to 2 on the G string. Then we have a double stop, which is a 6th. It's a 2nd fret on the G and 2nd fret of the high E. Slide to the 4th fret, pick it one more time, and then we have, which is on the A string 2 to 4, hammer on, and then low E open. Okay. So that's the phrase. Then we repeat again from the first one. So exactly the same as we did the first time. And then after we let ring out the low E string, we have another lick. So here we are bending the G string again at the 2nd fret, and then we play the B string open, high E string open, 3rd fret of the B string, and then bend it up. And then here is the, like a trademark lick of Jimmy's, where he would bend the note on one string and then catch, while it's bent up, catch the adjacent string. So in this case, we bend the B string up on the 3rd fret, and then we catch the G string at the 3rd fret. And then we go down the scale, so 3, 2, open. And then again we have a trill on the D string from open to the 2nd fret. So again. Now after that we continue trilling for 2 bars. Right, like that, and it's varies in dynamics, so it's a little bit louder and softer, so just pressing harder, you know, trilling harder or softer. And then after that we play the next lick, which goes like this. So we have this. So we have this kind of slide. You can, you know, take the first 3 strings and just, you know, pick the strings and slide upwards without any specific pitch. So we slide and then we go into low E, high E and the B strings open. Then we have a 3rd fret of the low E slide bend. Then we have a hammer-on from open to the 2nd fret of the D string, while at the same time catching the high E string. And then we play the B string open, again high E, and then we have a trill on the G string from open to the 1st fret. Okay, so it's kind of played fast, so you know it sounds better when it's played fast. So again, one more time. Sorry, one more time. Okay, so that's that lick. Then we're back to. So again, we have low E string open. Then we catch the high E and the B strings. If you get the 2 strings or 3 strings, it doesn't matter. It's just, you know, kind of effect like this. All right. So you know, you would hold the E chord like that because it's all played around the E chord. And if you get the G string or just the 2 high E and the B strings, you know, it doesn't really matter. So, like I said, we have low E string open, then we have the open strings, the high strings, then we have again the slide bend on the 3rd fret of the low E, then we have a grace note. Okay, so again this grace note from open to the 2nd fret on the D string, again catching the high E, 3rd fret on the B, and then we have a slight gradual bend on the same fret. Okay, then the next part. Okay, so again we have low E string open, high E string open, then we have a slide from the 3rd fret to the 5th on the B string. Then again we sort of cut it out with the higher strings E and B. Then we play open, low E to the 3rd fret, and then we go into the trill on the G string, open to the 1st fret, and at the same time the next note is going to be the high E string catching it open. Okay. Like that. And then we have, so here we have open to the 1st fret on the G string and then catching the high E, so it's a kind of hybrid picking. So we do it for 2 times, and then the 3rd time we just hammer on from open to the 1st, repeat 1 more time, and then we have this. So it's a bend on the G string 2nd fret, bring it down, pull off to open, and then 2nd fret on the D. Okay. You can play either, you know, after the bend, the 2nd fret, and then the low E string open. So he uses that a lot of times. So after that we go into the verses, the first verse, and it goes like this. Okay, so during the verses, Jimmy's playing this kind of typical blues rhythmical figure, and also he adds a little bit of variation to it, and also he's playing vocalized melodic figures, meaning that he plays exactly the same notes that he sings. Okay, so there is a part of the song where he sings the lyric, and the melody he backs it up by playing on the guitar same notes, and this is called scat singing. But the rhythmical figure that I'm talking about that he's playing, it goes like this. Okay, so as you can see, we're playing an E chord here, and we kind of break it up a little bit and add in some some bends and also grace notes. Okay, so if you look at the tab, you will see that we have an open low E string, open, then we play 2nd fret of the D, then 3rd fret of the low E with slight bend, then a grace note back to the 2nd fret of the D note of the D string from open to 2, then again low E open, then we include the high E and the B strings open, and then this lick, which is on the G string, 2nd fret, bend up, bring it down, pull off to open, and then 2nd fret of the D. Another variation, instead of playing the 2nd fret of the D, he might include the high E and the B strings. Okay, so it's all about these little variations, and sometimes he would just play, just a low E string open for the whole beat, and then this kind of stuff. And also he would use a lot of times little trills on the D string from open to the 2nd. Okay, now the vocalized melodic figures that I was talking about, for example, in the first verse he's playing like this. Okay, so he mimics what he sings, and the lick goes like this: play open low E, and then we go slide into the 5th fret on the high E string to the 3rd fret, and then we have pull-offs which are on B string 5-3 open, and then he goes back to the rhythmical figure. Okay, so here's another lick where he's playing 3 to open on the B, 2 to open on G, 2nd fret of the D, and he's back to the rhythmical figure again. Okay, so if I would play the first verse, all of the parts together slowly would go like this. Okay, so we have a stop here, and then just 2 scratches in between the lyrics, and then he continues. Okay, so here we have again kind of breaking down the E chord, low E string, open, then adds the higher strings, and then we go into, this is a 6th, but he's using A and G string, so on A we have 5th fret, and on G we have 4th. So this is the Mixolydian 6s that he uses, E Mixolydian 6s. So 16th notes here, then this one, which is the minor. So we play 4th fret on the A, 2nd on G, and then back to the initial double stop. Again back to the E chord, low E string open, then catches the higher strings. Now this lick goes like this: 3rd fret on the low E, then we go to A open 1 2, D string 2 open, and then we go back, and then on A we have 2 open, to the low E 3 open 3, and then we kind of slide into the D chord. So now we go to the D chord, and it's just an open D string, 2nd fret of the G as well, so it's a kind of power chord. And then we add 3rd fret on the D to the 4th, back to the D chord, D power chord, then adding the 5th fret of the G string while the D string is open. And you can include also the 16th notes. Then we're on to the G chord, to A, and then we're back to E, but he plays little phrase. So the phrase goes like this: we slide into the 5th fret of the D string, or you can play just the G string open. Then we play 2 on D, open, then onto the A string we have 2, then we have a quick hammer-on pull-off on the A string open, 1st open, then onto the E string 2 times 3rd fret, back to A open, 3rd fret of the low E, open. And then we add this trill again on the D string from open to the 2nd fret. Okay, so after this we have a little, in between the verses, a few licks, and they go like this. Okay, so the licks in between the verses, like I said, go like this. The first one, we started off with the trill on the D string open to the 2nd fret. Then we add the high E and the B strings 2 times open. Then we have a bend on the 2nd fret of the G string, and we play open B, open high E. And then we play again the bend on the G, 2nd fret, but this time we bend it up, bring it down, pull off, 2nd fret of the D string. And now we're back to the low E string open. Again, we have this slight bend on the 3rd fret. Grace note on the D string open to the 2nd, low E string open, and then he goes into trills again for 2 bars with some stops in between. You can listen to it on the original recording, but that's what he does. He just trills and adds the low E string, stops for a while, then goes into trill again. And then he has this, after the drum break, which is just, again, the grace notes on the D string open to the second. Then again, just adds a little bit of trill. And then we have another bend on the G string, second fret. And while it's bend, playing, catching the B string at the third fret. And again, this part, this lick, which is just the bend, release, pull off, and onto the trill again on the second fret, open to second on the D string. And then we're back to the second verse, and we have similar rhythmical figure. So we have low E string open, then higher strings, the bend on the third fret of the low E. Now adding here the trill. Okay, so it's this kind of thing. And he plays again a few licks where he harmonizes the melody, the melody that he sings with his guitar, and the licks are again kind of similar. It goes like this. Okay, so here he plays a little bit faster, some of the things, but we have again these kind of pull-offs. So the first one, again on the high E string, first he plays the high E string open, then he slides into the 5th fret, 3 open, then plays the low E string. Then we have 2 grace notes on the high E string from 3rd fret to the 5th. And then we have this fast one, which is after the 2 grace notes. We go back to the 3rd fret, then onto the B string, 5 to 3, pull off, and then onto the G string from 4th fret, just sliding down to the 2nd and pulling off to the open string. Like that, right? And then again we're back to the rhythmical figure. Okay, we have another, again, the same stop as in the first verse. And then we continue by playing. So again, we are using this double stop, but this time it's only this one, so he slides several times into it. Like that. Then we have another slide, which is on the G string on the G string from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, and at the same time playing the B string open. Then he goes kind of chromatically down, right? And then he goes into another part of the song where the harmony now goes to D chord. I've seen him play sometimes right here, this kind of blues figure. This kind of thing. So we have a power chord, and then we add the 6th interval. So 5th fret on the A, 7 on D, and then the A stays the same on the 5th fret, and we add the 9th fret of the D string. And then before we go to the G chord, we can use this low E open and then kind of slide into the 3rd fret. Or you can play chromatically like that. Then we continue to the A chord. then we're back to the E. Okay, so now if I put all together all of this part after at the break, it goes like this. Okay, so after we finish this, we then go into the chorus, which is Jimmy's singing A-Comin, and he's playing again the vocalized melody, the vocalized rhythmical melody, scat singing, where he is playing the same notes as he sings. So it's, A-Comin. So basically on the 3rd fret of the B string, 1, 2, 3, 3 bends we have on the 3rd fret of the B string, then we have open, then onto the B 3rd fret again, and bending up. Now he plays here a few variations. Sometimes he would play like that, and also he would play, just sliding from the 3rd fret to the 5th on the B string, while the high E string at the same time is open. So after that he would play the B open with high E, and then again from the 3rd fret goes into the 5th fret. Okay, and then he alternates it with the rhythmical figure, which is, okay, so it's low E open to the 3rd fret, and then we have a grace note from the open to the 2nd fret on the D string. Okay, so he would play this for about 4 times, and then after that he goes into the solo. Okay, so a lot of times during the solo, Jimmy would start it off with overdriven guitar, and we're not going to go into the solo here in this lesson, but he would use the E minor pentatonic predominantly, and also he would include the blues scale as well. Alright, and after that, the second part, usually he would take it, he would slow down the things, and he would go into softer part where he would play just a clean guitar, and also use the univibe and or the wah pedal. And after that he would come out of the solo, just kind of go into the 3rd verse, where he would use again the same kind of rhythmical figure. Sometimes even plays it with the wah. And while singing, he would throw in some licks in between. Okay, so they're not anything, something major, but just a few licks here and there. And then eventually he would come to an end, and just to finish the song with a lick, or usually he would sing A-Comin, and he would double it up with the guitar, and just finish the song like that. Alright guys, so this is the end of this lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please hit the thumbs up button. Also, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar related stuff and Jimi Hendrix stuff as well. And in the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, may the force be with you.